Six Flags Magic Mountain is a cornerstone park of the Six Flags chain, the new Six Flags chain even, before it was the best. Okay. And recently there have been rumors swirling around, especially since Screamscape is talking about it, a new renovation to a old land is coming. So today we're going to be asking what's going to happen to Six Flags Magic Mountain's Samurai Summit. What's up guys, Cam here, and before we get into today's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on all of those notifications. Now let's hop straight into this. So, Screamscape has released an article recently about the Samurai Summit possible renovation. So let's read it and see what happens. So this was published on March 10th, 2025. Some interesting rumors have been sent our way regarding the future development of Six Flags Magic Mountain. Keep in mind that these are just wild rumors at this point, with nothing close to being verified. However, I'd be remiss if I didn't admit that I heard most of these rumors before in one form or another over the past few years. The control and direction of the Six Flags chain has been itself under a wild ride over the past decade, falling under the guidance of several different leaders, which with their own vision of how they want to do things, as well as different priorities of which parks would be more in focus than others. Now, with the latest political shift complete finalizing the merger of Six Flags and Cedar Fair, it isn't strange at all that some of the older rumors may be returning to light, as the new leadership calling the shots is more known for their advanced planning efforts than the previous ones. So with that in mind, I'm hearing that the focus of the park following the opening of 2026 roller coaster will be to tackle a redesign of the park's Samurai Summit district, which essentially would affect all the rides at the top of the mountain itself. The good news is that I've heard nothing at all about making any changes to Tatsu, but it is sounding like everything else up there would be under review. That includes the closed Superman, the Escape from Krypton, and I'm hearing that it may be very unlikely that Superman will ever open again. The one thing Superman has going for it is that the park does not want to lose Lex Luthor, Drop of Doom, the ride attached to the sides of the Superman Tower. Currently, Lex Luthor is the world record holder for being the tallest vertical drop coaster in the world, offering a dizzying 415-foot drop to the ground below. While Lex Luthor's height was surpassed by Zumanjaro at Six Flags Great Adventure, the demolition of King Ka, the tower that it was attached to, has returned the record to Magic Mountain, or at least until the Sirocco Tower at Six Flags Qiddiya opened. I didn't even know that existed. The Sirocco Tower, I don't know how tall it's going to be. I hope it's going to be really tall, so that gives me another excuse to go to Six Flags Qiddiya. But yeah, I've been hearing that the difference in the tower structure and how these individual rides were built means that it is possible for the tower itself and Lex Luthor to stay in place, while still removing the launch track and station for the Superman coaster. In previous announcement, but under the old management, it was confirmed that the park was looking to reopen the closed Sky Tower at the top of the mountain. So hopefully this will still fall into the efforts of the future Samurai Summit renovation plan, along with renovation to other existing facilities on the mountain. And it is also rumored to include the creation of an all-new thrill ride. There are rumors of another loss for Samurai Summit, however, this increasing number of whispers claiming that Ninja's lifespan may be coming to an end. The coaster, which closed in 1988, was the West Coast's only aero suspended coaster and was extremely popular for a long time, featuring a winding layout hidden by trees among the mountainside. Over the years, most of the trees were removed, especially after one fell on the ride, and Ninja also suffered a little damage over the years from various earthquakes. But it still managed to survive all these years relatively intact. If the rumors are to be believed, the long-term planning efforts for the park to build the rumored Vekoma Thoroughguided coaster in 2026 is thought to be meant as a replacement for Ninja. If so, 2025 could be your last year to experience Ninja, or they might be able to keep it around for 2026. As well, unlikely how we've seen this year crop of closed rides just closed and demolished without warning. The early word is that the park is planning to give fans a healthy advance warning as to when they plan to close Ninja for good. Again, all rumors, but if you visit the park, do yourself a favor and get a good few rides on Ninja while you still can. Nothing lasts forever. So that is it for the Screamscape article. Now let's do a little bit of analysis. So at the beginning, they talk about the political landscape. There's nothing really different about that. Let's talk about the big points though. After the opening of the 2026 roller coaster, they're going to redesign the park's Samurai Summit district. Now, I would be actually very happy to see them redesign the Samurai Summit District. As you've seen over the past few years, they have definitely redesigned a lot of the lands that have came through this way, like mainly the Underground, DC Universe, Steampunk District, and the Full Throttle Zone. And it would be very interesting to see them put a new spin on the Samurai Summit. I will still like to see the Japanese style of stuff like Samurai, but something a little bit more like unique and different. So the Samurai idea is interesting. I do like the name Samurai Summit. I feel like in a perfect world they would keep it, but they would add a lot more. They would also keep Ninja, and because Ninja is an icon of that park. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good in the atmosphere, and when you're walking through the underground, just seeing Ninja is fantastic. So yeah, they next up talk about the closed Superman escape from Krypton. Now, it is possible Superman does go. It's actually very likely that it goes, but there are a lot of different factors that we can currently think about, because Superman still says that it's closed for refurbishment. So we don't really know if that means that it will reopen or it won't. Plus, S&S made that post recently about Superman, and S&S only really talks about coasters that were made by them. So the theory still lies that it is possible that S&S is refurbishing and redoing the launch system for Superman. That would be a reasonable explanation why Superman has been not open for a while, and them redoing the launch track. I've seen videos where there was pieces of the launch track or launch system spotted near like backstage areas, and it's possible that S&S is redoing the launch system in order to have Superman be more reliable, for it to be more cost effective, and overall just keep going well. I mean, compressed air, I think they do LSMs in compressed air. I'm not sure, but that's not the point. Let's just hop into the next one. So they next up talk about the Sky Tower hopefully reopening, which I do agree. It being the icon of the park, Six Flags Magic Mountain. Usually when you think of theme parks, you think of the globe, that's Universal. The castle, that's Disney. Not sure, but you can tell where I'm getting at. There is usually an icon of the park. The icon for the park is the Sky Tower. The Sky Tower is tall, it's at the top of the mountain, and it hasn't been open in a while. And from the plans that we've heard, they are probably going to reopen it over time. And I would be very happy to see it reopen. That is just what I want. Is overall, I don't care. I just want Sky Tower reopen. But finally, there is something talking about a new thrill coaster coming to Samurai Summit. This is where my expertise comes into play. Now, if I wanted to think about a new thrill ride coming to Samurai Summit, we have to think, of course, it's going to be a roller coaster. Magic Mountain is the roller coaster capital of the world. So what we're going to think is that it's probably going to go into the old place where the Superman launch track is, because they don't really have anything else. But if there's a thin plot of land, you can easily fit a turnaround right around where the tower is. You guys, and you can theme it to Superman as a tribute. You can use the old launch, you can use the old station, and you can make one of the sides be an unload station and the other side be a loading station. Do you want to know what this is sounding like? Oh man, this would be awesome. A B&M Giga? Okay. Hear me out. This might actually be a crazy idea, but what if the replacement for Superman Escape from Krypton, a beloved, one of the tallest coasters in the world, a B&M Giga. A B&M Giga themed to Superman. They reuse the old station stuff, the old queue, and then they just build Superman. That would be awesome. That would be probably one of the best coasters in the park. They would rival X2 as the best coaster in the park, and Twisted Colossus. Imagine a top 5 of Tatsu, X2, Twisted Colossus, a Superman Giga Coaster, and another one. You could do Viper or West Coast Racers. I don't care. I personally choose Viper. Actually, I'd personally choose Goliath. Yeah. I would love to see a Giga come to the park, but there's also many other possibilities that we could see. Mainly, they have lost a couple water rides. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to add a water coaster. I wouldn't mind a water coaster. I wouldn't mind if they did another launch coaster in place of Superman. Like, I know that it's had many problems in the past, but Max Force wouldn't be a kind of Max Force style coaster. An SNS Axis, of course, but that's just all speculation from what we've gotten to. But yeah, the opinion about this right now is it's pretty mixed. A lot of people do want a revamped Super Samurai Summit, which I'd want to. I want fresh repaint, I want all that. But at the same time, I would be sad if Ninja closed. That's what the sentiment is. Redo Samurai Summit, but don't close Ninja. And I totally agree with that. Keep Ninja. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.